and I'm going to say hello on the supposition that I am in fact in the right place. Welcome everybody to Mythgard Adventures. It's another Tuesday night, and we are getting ready to return to the In Their Absence quest chain this evening, right? That's what we're doing. We had bingo night last time.
Yes.
Am I remembering correctly? Okay, right. So back to In Their Absence, and so I'm excited to go over that, and I think that I have in fact succeeded on streaming on the right channel, which is excellent. So okay.
I see you, so probably.
Good. Excellent. Okay, so first, I have a somewhat sad announcement to make. Yeah. It's not as sad as it could be, but it's still kind of sad. That you may remember that I announced a little while back that I was going down to Turbine. We had finally arranged for the interview with me and Mike Trout and Chris Pearson to happen at Turbine, and it was supposed to happen tomorrow, and it just got canceled, unfortunately, rescheduled to an indefinite time in the future. And this time, the tragedy is that this was not actually even something that was was not even a scheduling thing. Getting Chris Pearson and Mike Trout and I in one place at the same time has been very challenging. We finally had it, and then we had to cancel for technical purposes. Their broadcasting room is all messed up for some reason, so they were not at all confident that they could have it running tomorrow, and didn't want to bring everybody in and waste our time and then not be able to actually broadcast. I have to admit that I was kind of a little bit thinking, come on, guys, how hard can this be? I mean, I broadcast out of my basement every day. I mean, you want me to bring my laptop and my mic with me? We can make this happen. They've got all this really fancy equipment, in there, and it's just not really necessary for this kind of thing. But whatever, it's fine. It is what it is. So, sadly, my scheduled trip to Turbine tomorrow won't be happening. It still will happen at some point, but it is not going to be happening this time. So that's my sad announcement.
Bummer.
Yes, indeed. But anyway, okay, so tonight we are returning to In Their Absence, and I want to return to what I was doing again last time, which is still trying to figure out what the In Their Absence quest chain is really all about. So can we recap what we accomplished last time? Because I'm not sure that I am significantly less confused at the beginning of this one than I was at the beginning of last one. So in our first installment, we returned to South Evendim, just north of the Shire, where evil things are encroaching. And the encroachment of the first evil thing was a gaunt lord, and it was the dude. Am I remembering this correctly? It was the dude from the Great Barrow. Is that right?
Yeah, Thadur. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Well, that was an Oakbarton. Yeah. Corey, you're muted on the stream.
Oh, am I? I wonder why that is.
Oh.
Be sort of a mystery for people to figure out what on earth is. There we go. Hey, all right. I never even touched that setting. What is up with that? That's really weird. Okay. Well, hi again to the people who have been watching me speak and looking at the back of Wiggins' cloak fetchingly blowing in the wind here, which must have been really gripping for the last 10 minutes or so. My apologies for that. I don't know how I got muted, but I did. All right, I'm gonna minimize that so that nothing happens further. Okay, so we were just starting to talk about the In Their Absence quest chain. So, okay, so, all right. So from last time, we figured out that in the first stage, the first instance of the In Their Absence sequence, a gaunt lord who had been hitherto restricted to the Great Barrow had decided to take the opportunity of the Ranger's absence to expand his operations and try to move in on the Shire. Right. In particular, he had some fiendish, though largely inexplicable plot that involved tempting hobbits with maliciously insidious stew, right? Am I remembering that correctly? Okay.
Well, some sort of poison that was making them think there were pies.
Make it right. Yes, deceptively pie scented, and yet, do we know what it was meant to do? The stew. It was just
some sort of poison.
He was just killing hobbits.
He wasn't going to turn the hobbits evil like the spiders and.
No, it was just some sort of poison.
Okay. All right. It was just okay. Just the murder of hobbits was his goal. So okay. All right. That's unusual, but that's okay. It's kind of interesting. The idea of the of one of the evil creatures from the Barrow Downs. We don't, of course, ever meet anybody with quite that much initiative in the books. Of course, when we pass through the Barrow Downs, the Whites in the Barrows seem to have stayed more or less put for the last, couple thousand years. But hey, like, they could try to expand. I mean, if you need an enemy to do that, that makes a certain amount of sense, right? So, okay. And killing hobbits. So, first of all, why would he skirt around and go up, up in, like, Oatbarton there? Why wouldn't he sort of move in from where he was in the Great Barrow? I think that's why. I think it's the geographical shift that confused me. Well, also, and I've only ever done the Great Barrow, I think twice, but so I didn't recognize the name. But the reason I didn't even think about the Barrow Downs when we met him when we were first doing the instance was that it was the geography, right? I mean, it's not anywhere actually close to the Barrow Downs where we meet him up there in Oatbarton. But of course it makes a certain amount of sense that he would skirt around and sort of come at the Shire from the north on account of wanting to get around Tom Bombadil, right? So he sort of gives the old forest a wide berth and comes in from the north. Okay, all right, I can buy that. So in the second instance, though, we ended up going to. Why did we end up over there again? Why did we go to the North Downs? I'm trying to recap. As I said, I don't. A, it was a long time ago, and B, it was slightly confusing at the time.
Well, because
got the letter from Parliament.
Okay.
Well, no. After you finish, the North Gaunt Farms, when you defeat Thader, he says something. And one of the Hobbit that you talked to at the end tells you that you should go talk to Ronald Dwale, who's
Ronald Dwale, right? Because we found a letter or something.
Was talking about, yeah.
Yes. Oh, right. No, because we heard him say the name. Right. Okay.
Right, and then he sends us to Stonehenge. This Dwale figures out that that's what Thader was referring to.
Right, that his next move was going to be to a human encampment, and quite a new human encampment, right? I mean, we were told the story there was that was as the orcs were moving into the open lands there in the North Downs, the humans had been kind of retreating off of their farmlands and going up into Stonehenge, right? Sort of taking refuge in Stonehenge from the incursion of the orcs. That was the story there, right? So it's sort of a tragic story of the collection of refugees trying desperately to rebuild something of their life after they've been driven out by orcs, being fallen upon and decimated, which of course is a very Tolkien kind of story, right? It's just like what happens to the refugees of Doriath and Gondolin by the Bay of Valar, right? When they're then set upon and crushed as they're finally trying to rebuild some new life together down there. So okay, all right, that seems like a Tolkien kind of story, but it's not it wasn't the same guy, right? It was a human guy who had some improbable name. What was his name? Dale?
Yeah, Dale Truitt, wasn't it?
Dale Truitt. Yeah. Now, what was Dale's story? I didn't follow Dale's story, and what this had to do with the Gaunt Lord. So again, like, Gaunt Lord from the Barrow Downs decides to make his move in the absence of the Rangers. Like, I can buy that, right? I'm behind that. What's the story with Dale Truitt, however, and how is he connected with the Gaunt Lord?
Apparently, one of the guys that you find in the instance says that he met a merchant who sold him a helm, and he bought it thinking he could pry the gems loose. And then Ivar the Bloodhand stalked through town after. So that's a different Gaunt Lord, Ivar the Bloodhand.
Yes.
Stalked through the town after the gems were pried loose. And we never actually find Ivar, but I guess Dale Truitt is working for him.
Right, that's right. He is for Ivar. That's right.
Right, and Dale Truitt showed a certain amount of authority, like there was that other boss that we defeat, who then Dale Truitt kills, right?
He goes whining to Dale Truitt, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What was he again? That boss that we killed? What?
Some sort of orc, I think.
What manner of creature? He was an orc, didn't he?
Yeah, he was an orc of some sort that had come in from outside along with, the others that were investing the North Downs.
Okay.
Worked his way up there.
Okay. All right. So we have then Dale Truitt, who's obviously human, right?
Right.
So he's some kind of human adventurer, human mercenary figure.
Brigands, I think.
Theory. He's kind of got some burglarious type.
Yeah, I think he's the leader of the brigands that were in the town.
Okay.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Okay. So he's a brigand, which is, North Downs topical. We got some brigands up there. They don't have quite as much of a brigand problem as some of the other regions, but that's okay. Okay, so a local brigand who is taking orders from Ivar the Bloodhand leads a troop of orcs and other brigands and goblins and things and wargs into Stoneheight in order to sack it, in order to recover the helm, which turns out to have been Ivar the Bloodhand's helm?
I guess.
Okay.
Some connection with Ivar, anyway.
Right. Now,
We don't actually see Ivar. We just hear that he was there.
right. And I'm trying to, of course, overlook the obvious difficulty that we have all, as a group, killed Ivar several times. So
We've also done the same thing to Thadur.
Yeah, we've killed Thader too.
true.
Yeah, so.
True. So I suppose I shouldn't. It would be it would be unjust of me to be prejudiced against them for that reason. Okay.
Right.
Fine. Yeah. All right. Okay. So Ivar the Bloodhand, who. Okay. So why was Thader saying something about Stoneheight? If the only significance of Stoneheight was that was where, Ivar's hat was. I mean, that sounds like a personal issue with Ivar, right? This is my helm, somebody stole my helm. I mean, in itself, that story...
Yeah, the actual dialogue that Thader says at the end of North Groton is, Battle, Shadow, and Plague all have returned. Many will die at Tirith Dan Cordua.
Okay.
So... And that's the name of the thing that we have to go talk to Ronald Dwale, and he's the one who tells us that that's actually Stoneheight.
Stoneheight. Okay. So he's just prophesying, then, the destruction of Stoneheight. For some reason.
Yeah, basically.
Okay. All right.
Well, we sort of kind of found out why... did you talk to Elrond yet? I don't remember if we talked to Elrond at the end of the last one.
Yes. I think we did.
Because at the end of Stoneheight, you talk to the NPC, who says he found a tablet on the ground that he thinks Ivar dropped on his way through, and it's covered in runes that he can't read. So he sends us to who else?
Right.
Elrond.
Of course. Of course.
That's right. Remember, we went to actually see Elrond.
Naturally. Right. Yeah,
But
absolutely.
I don't think we actually went in the house. I think we were going to start in the house.
No, you're right. We were going to actually talk to him to start this off. Yeah, that's right.
Right. Okay. Yes, because of course we ended up. Yes, that was the time when we ended both in their absence and bingo night in the same place, talking to Elrond. Of course.
Right. That's right.
It's all coming back to me now. All right. Okay. So Ivar. So we found a tablet that Ivar dropped. So Ivar first pawned his helmet to a merchant who then sold it to this poor sap in Stoneheight.
I don't think Ivar
And then later dropped it.
pawned it, or I think it was actually sold on purpose, because The farmer said he got a fair price for it, so that makes me think that he was like duped into buying it, basically.
Right? By
So,
an agent of
so they gave
Ivar?
it- They basically got him the helmet, hoping that somebody would pry the gems loose. We'd be that dumb, which is what summoned Ivar. At a guess.
So it's all a scheme to summon or conjure Ivar from somewhere by the disturbance of the
we
gems.
actually learn about all this when we get to the raid, right? All of this stuff becomes clearer once we get.
Well,
past
Elrond
it,
tells
right?
us some stuff when we go talk to him.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
All right, maybe Elrond can help to make sense of some things. Because I have to admit, I'm flailing right now. I'm trying to sort this out, trying to find the narrative thread here that binds all this together. I mean, as I've said before, the In Their Absence instance series keeps surprising me about sort of how big and sweeping it is. I expected it to be quite different, and I've been, having not expected that much of a narrative in the first place, I've been surprised to find it, and then since I was surprised, I've been really keen to pursue it and sort of think it through and see what they're doing. And I've been struggling so far. So because there seems to be this sort of discontinuity. I mean, why did Thetis even mention Stoneheight, even cryptically? Because if that was a sort of a prediction, sort of a prophecy.
He sent us there hoping that the next guy would beat us,
Yeah.
which hasn't happened yet.
Okay. Right. But what? Okay. That doesn't seem good strategy to me, really. Like,
Well,
I will reveal
same
where.
guy who has a cauldron full of pie-scented poison, so
Well, but that at least shows us. I mean, like, his strategy, his tactics aren't in question, right? I mean, like, if your strategic goal is to kill lots of hobbits, pie-scented pot of poison seems like a decent way to get it done, right? I mean, it's not that I think that is okay. I was about to say it's not that I think that that's ludicrous. No, I do think it's ludicrous, but I think that's not a foolish way to try to go about killing large quantities of hobbits. I don't fully understand why he wanted to. I sort of have only two things to go on, right? One is the sort of the general context in which I can put, Thetis is put in the Great Barrow, right? So I'm given a kind of a Barrow Downs context, right, for him and his motivations. I can work with that, with the desire to murder lots of hobbits. I mean, look what happened when the hobbits were taken in the Barrow Downs in the Fellowship of the Ring, right? What did we see? We saw that the Barrow Wights weren't intending just to, like, kill them or eat their brains or something like that, like we might expect undead to do, but rather they seem to be wanting to like absorb them, to sort of recruit them in a sense. And they were going to kill them, clearly. But the way that they were dressed out as for, they were their clothes were changed as for a funeral. And I don't think, by the way, that I've ever really thought about exactly how creepy that is. Like, I've never really permitted my mind to actually try to picture the scene of the Barrow Wights stripping and undressing Merry, Pippin, and Sam and redressing them in grave clothes, because I suddenly thought of that the other day, and I was really creeped out by it. But anyway, it really doesn't bear thinking about.
Never unthink that.
I know, right? It all came when I was talking about the Tom Bombadil's advice to run naked on the grass as a therapeutic method, and that's where it all came from. Anyway, never mind. Okay, so like I said, that's the only sort of lore context that I have for Thetis at all. Of course, Gaunt Lords are a little bit sketchy from a lore perspective anyway. Like, I'm willing to go with it, of course. They're not really There aren't really any instances of them in the books, but I'm willing to go with it, as the sort of these creatures of dark power. I don't know exactly what they are precisely or what they're meant to be. But again, I'm willing to kind of roll with those. So I could understand the poison pie pot concept if it's part of a general sort of Barrow Whitish idea of assimilating the hobbits of the Shire and extending like turning, like, sort of taking this opportunity to work in and try to turn the Shire into this sort of funereal land of death. That seems like a thing that, like, Barrow Whites and their superiors would be interested in doing based on the book. So, okay, like, I can take that. If, on the other hand, we're supposed to be understanding that the Gaunt Lords of Eriador have some kind of extremely insidious scheme afoot that they have now decided to pull the trigger on in this coordinated team effort, now that the Rangers are gone and no one is sitting next to a campfire anywhere in Eriador anymore. So taking that opportunity then to do whatever it is that they're going to do, that I can buy that too. So maybe it's just that we haven't had the reveal yet, and so I don't really understand exactly in what way the poisoning of large groups of pie-addicted hobbits and the slaughter of a bunch of already downtrodden refugees in the North Downs, I don't exactly see what end that serves, or like, what sort of higher strategic purpose there is. But perhaps, Monica, as you say, the more will be revealed by Elrond when we bring him this tablet that we found. And Ivar dropped the tablet? That's what happened?
That's what they think happened, yeah.
That's what they think happened, right?
Because nobody actually saw Ivar drop it.
Right.
So, speculation.
Right.
I don't know where else it could have come from.
It's like, and sorry, and this is Terry Edwin. Sorry, I called you Monica. I'm used to talking to Monica here on these, but Terry, thank you. Okay, so,
Monica's where's Monica?
right, yeah, sorry, my apologies.
Sorry, Terry's got a bunch of names, so she'd probably respond to Monica too.
I know who he was talking to. Well, and the sad thing is I am really bad about not reading quest text, so I have to go to the wiki to look all this stuff up.
Right. Okay. Well, okay. So maybe more is going to be revealed. To me, one of the things that this really brings me kind of back to is the whole Gaunt Lord thing, and where they have how they have positioned Gaunt Lords. Now, those of you who know the game better than I, is it ever explained anywhere in the game exactly what Gaunt Lords are and where they come from? I mean, I kind of remember this back in book 4, like in the Trollshaws, this came up, right? I mean, of course it comes up with Ivar as well. Or was that what I'm thinking of in book 3 with Radagast and the whole Gartha Garwin thing?
That's where they carpet the ground over there.
Yeah, there's quite a few of them, but okay, because I remember like
that. The Lowlands is where Ivar kind of.
Yeah. That's where we met Ivar, and I remember the quests that Radagast sent us on way back when in book 3.
Yeah, we have to go get sigils from the Gaunt Lord.
Exactly, and he was identifying the sigils and saying, "Oh yeah, I know which Gaunt Lord this is about here." And I remember when we met that other Gaunt Lord over in the Trollshaws, the one that Glorfindel comes and fights with you.
Right.
That was fun too.
There's actually a Gaunt Lord in that instance, also the end instance of the book with Radagast that you have to go.
Yes.
Go kill.
Right.
Yeah.
Did you read the post on Facebook about this?
No.
There was somebody that tried to explain it. I think they posted from Turbine, from the game, the explanation from it. Yeah, I don't know who it was.
I can't recall either, but I'm looking right now. They have on the Logic Wiki. There's actually a fairly interesting entry that talks about it. That the Gaunt men were summoned in direct response to the 5 wizards sent by the Valar, and among them 5 gained a greater power. and sort of matched off against the wizards.
Oh, okay.
And they
Well, that's what
embodied
we got last time.
exactly. They embodied various aspects. The ones mentioned here are death, pestilence, famine, war, and purest evil, and these became known as the Gaunt Lords. And there are certain elements that you see as you run around in game, taking a look at various aspects that sort of play into this. You were talking about the various sigils. There is actually a deed in the game, and I am not looking at it at the moment, but there is a deed in the game which actually has you finding these symbols across the face of Eriador. And, each one of them corresponds to one of these gaunt men. And it really comes to a head when you get towards the end of the whole In Their Absence quest line. When you run into, I know Ostunhoth has been mentioned. That's like Gaunt Lord Central right there.
Okay.
And the environs around it play into it to at least some extent.
Okay.
So that explains, Terry, the thing that you remembered, the fact that the In Their Absence actually refers to the wizards and not to the rangers. Now that makes sense.
Turbine, yeah.
Right.
The wizards?
Turbine, yeah, okay.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly.
In what sense are the
That's
wizards
turbine.
absent?
The absence is wizards, which I can never get because wizards have always been absent.
I was going to say,
I mean, as far as...
exactly. In what sense are they more absent than usual? I mean...
And according to
Gandalf's
the
the only one that people might miss, but...
According to the
make it
Facebook
the end of
post.
Dunhop, there is actually some pretty significant dialogue that clears it all up. But you have
Yes,
to include it.
yes, there is. There definitely is. Without going into it too much, you will find the boss of the Gaunt Lords, the top power amongst them,
Guy who made us
and he does dialogue a great deal about this.
Okay,
Okay.
does the evil villain long dialogue?
Oh, nice.
Oh yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, you get.
Well, that's
that
thoughtful
more than a
anyway.
little bit. There's a lot of good stuff that comes out in that. So when you get to the end of this, all will pretty much be revealed.
Okay. All right. So the Gaunt Lords
Who was
really...
talking about, wait a minute, somebody was talking about the Facebook.
Well, the Facebook
Sorry, I don't know who that was.
I'm
Yeah.
sorry, that was me. Jay.
Oh, okay.
I don't know if he took it verbatim from the wiki or from Turbine itself, but his post said that that Sauron created the Gaunt Lords in the first age to combat the wizards, and I thought the wizards didn't come until like the third age.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's...
So
Yes.
I thought that was wrong.
Yes. Yeah, it would be. Besides which, Sauron wasn't really in a position to be
Yeah.
making things. And I mean, he was...
Are you sure his post said Sauron? I was Morgoth myself because I recall seeing that and that he had mentioned something at that point in time.
Huh.
Oh yes.
Yeah,
In
I've read
fact,
it
it kind
twice
of
because I
refers.
thought it was wrong.
Yeah.
It kind of refers to it here. The first part of the entry on the Gaunt Men says, part of the creatures known as ancient evil, Gaunt Men served Morgoth
Yeah.
in Angband prior to his expulsion from the world. After his fall, the remaining men went into hiding in the realm that later became Angmar. Their power was greatly diminished. And then the Witch King, of course, he lands in Angmar, and that's where it kind of talks about this. He brings them over to his service. Of course, he's toady to Sauron, and so it kind of passes the allegiance on.
Right.
Interesting. That's an interesting sub-creation of the sub-creation, isn't it?
That it was... Okay. Okay. So if the Gaunt Lords are made by Morgoth, then... It's kind of interesting, like that. I mean, you think about what the recruitment effort then by the Witch King would have been, because the Witch King, far from being
By far.
right, I mean, far from being in a position of like authority, which would enable him to like summon the Gaunt Lords to his service or something, he is not even their peer. I mean, Sauron himself would be their peer, presumably stronger than they. But again, if the Gaunt Men were the servants of Morgoth, well, so is Sauron, and the Witch King is wholly derivative of Sauron. So he's like the Witch King to them would be like the servant of their peer. They would look down on him, I would have to think. I mean,
Well, I guess unless Sauron told him, dudes, he's your boss now, right? I mean,
but even that would have to be a negotiation, right? I mean, like that.
over their heads.
Well, yeah,
It does also say pretty clearly that their power was greatly diminished.
was greatly
So,
diminished.
depending
Okay,
upon how much so,
right.
remember, the Witch King was at the height of his power at that point in time. And if the Gaunt Lords were diminished, well,
Yeah, right. Okay, all right. So the Gaunt Lords.
Corey, do you think we should add Gaunt Lords to the Film Project?
No, it's complicated enough already.
from what I'm seeing here in Professor McGee, this will help.
That's 5 more salaries you got to pay too.
It's true. It's
That's
true.
true.
Fortunately, our budget's unlimited. But anyway, no. So okay,
Was Natesh saying something?
Yeah, I was just kind of going back to another question that you had answered previously, Professor, and I don't remember if I asked it or if somebody else was, but this was going to the whole concept of spirits, and I thought it tied in really nicely with when you were wandering around on Grifflet through the areas right there in the Lowlands, and you were noting the white factories and all of that stuff.
Right.
And the whole concept of how they were taking evil spirits, for lack of a better term, and using them
Yes.
to manifest and move these bodies. What I'm seeing here kind of talks about that. I mean, the discussion here was that the Gaunt Lords were created using lore surrounding the coming of the wizards and the physical manifestation of spirits. These creatures are among the most powerful of the enemy's servants. So if this is just another case of going back to Morgoth in this case, pulling a spirit out and using that to animate powerfully, some kind of physical corpus.
Yeah.
That plays very much in line with the whole white thing, and we know that they're tied very closely to the whites.
Yes. Yeah, and it's well, yeah, the wizards, of course, are also spirits who are tied to bodies in an unusual kind of way. I mean, the wizards, the sense in which the wizards are like other, mortal creatures is really complicated. It's really hard to explain. I just discovered that this last week when I was trying to explain it to a group of like 10 to 14-year-olds. Which really revealed to me how little I understood it. So, because on the one hand, so they're not just like the Valar and the Maiar who can choose to embody themselves in a physical appearance. So they're not merely a physical manifestation put on, again, to use the metaphor or the simile that Tolkien uses in the Valaquenta, put on like clothes, right, which they could then just take off again and walk unclad in their pure spiritual forms. The bodies of the wizards, so like Gandalf's body when he's walking around with the company, is not like that. He can't just disembody himself at will. He's genuinely incarnated in his body. He's genuinely tied to his body. That seems to be something like a sacrifice, even a sort of a lessening of themselves that the wizards took on themselves as part of this mission. That they're really bound to Middle Earth, to their bodies, which are there in Middle Earth. But of course, their relationship with their bodies is also not exactly like the regular incarnate races, the elves and men, that is. Of course, there are many similarities between the wizards and them, but it's not identical, right? So the wizards are kind of this strange sort of in between place, right? Between physically manifested spirits, and which we know the Valar and the Maiar can do, and a born elf or human. Like the lack of being born, of course, is the chief, one of the chief differences. They manifest themselves. They seem to be sort of put into these bodies, but they're not born or conceived. They just show up, right? They just come in a boat, sort of, instead of by a stork, they just come in a boat. So it's a little bit odd. The Gaunt men, surely the connection between the gaunt men and the wizards, if this is the concept, if the concept is that they are survivors, even if radically diminished survivors of like Morgoth's chieftains in the first stage, some of Morgoth's chieftains in the first stage, then obviously any connection between them and the wizards must be coincidence. Unless we're suggesting an additional sort of wrinkle. Okay, let's go back a second. The wizards are sent to Middle-earth to be the opponents to Sauron. The rationale that Tolkien gives in the essay on the Astari, which you can read in Unfinished Tales, is that the Valar wanted to help. So Sauron is causing trouble, right? They see that he escapes from Numenor, and he's limited, but he's defeated in the last alliance, but he's coming back. He's beginning to take shape again, and now this is post last alliance, right? So the elves are in decline. There's not going to be another last alliance like that of Gil-galad and Elendil. So the Valar are looking over from Valinor at Middle-earth, and they're saying, this is really kind of unfair, right? The deck here is really stacked against the free people of Middle-earth, because Sauron, there's nobody really to oppose Sauron other than the three elven lords who wield the elven rings, and that's just not really fair. They can't take him on one-on-one. So what do we do? So they decide they don't come over, and so in a sense the wizards are like in the Third Age. They're like the third generation intervention, right? First, at the beginning of the First Age, with the chaining of Melkor, you got all of the Valar themselves coming over and fighting, and it caused an enormous cataclysm and totally reshaped all of the continents of the world. So that was a pretty big deal. The second time, at the end of the First Age, with the War of Wrath, they sent over mostly elves accompanied by some of the Maiar, but the Valar themselves didn't come. So we have like the second direct intervention of the Valar in Middle-earth to support the free people against the evil of Melkor, was a lesser one. The third intervention is the wizard. It's the least one of all, right? They send over a small number of Maiar with no armies to support them. Just these 5 Maiar, whose job is to come and not even really, not to lead, not to take power, so that they're not coming over as generals or kings. They are explicitly forbidden to seek personal power. But instead they are sent over in order to guide, inspire, advise, and basically help the free peoples to sort of rally and oppose Sauron. And of these, in that essay of the Astari, Tolkien asserts that of the 5, Gandalf is the only one who did his job. Basically, everybody else failed to varying extents, including Radagast, which nobody really likes because everybody likes Radagast, and what he didn't seem that bad. But yeah, exactly. He went native. Yeah, he went native and spent too much time hanging out with animals. And that was apparently not the right thing for him to have done.
Wrong with, personally.
I figured that, Trish. It's right. And frankly,
he didn't exactly fail, but he didn't exactly succeed either.
Well, exactly. He didn't accomplish that much. I mean, honestly, I get the impression in that essay that Tolkien was really just kind of throwing Radagast under the bus in the interest of trying to basically emphasize how awesome Gandalf was, which, like, fine. Yeah. Like, I understand. Because Gandalf is the exemplar of, like, what the Astari were supposed to have done, right? And he's the one who did it and did it right. But even within his own writings there, it seems inconsistent. The condemnation of Radagast seems inconsistent because he suggests, not in the essay on the Astari, but in a later writing where he gives a narrative, it's a choppy narrative, but he gives a narrative version of like the council over in Valinor where they decide to go and they recruit people. And, Gandalf is the last one to go, and they basically have to like twist his arm and guilt trip him into going over. But not because he didn't care and didn't want to go, but because he was like so self-effacing and everything. Gandalf was like super humble. And so the last one to put himself forward to volunteer for the trip. Whereas by contrast, Saruman was like, Hermione Granger in the front row, jumping up and down with his hand in the air, being like, ooh, me. I can do this. I'd be awesome at this job. Pick me. And so they picked him, which didn't turn out so well.
Gandalf Harry Potter. And probably Radagast now is Ron Weasley.
Yeah, Ron Weasley, exactly, right. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah, because he ends up with Saruman, right? So yeah, that's it. That's it.
Pet rat.
That's right.
Yeah, and rats. So there you go.
That's right.
No, but anyway, so the point is, I don't want to seem to be casting undue aspersions on Hermione Granger. But anyway, so I don't want to take this parallel too far. But the point is that in that story where he's telling about this account, this council in Valinor, Radagast is one of the servants of Yavanna. Like, he's chosen by Yavanna to come to Middle-earth. And it's even Christopher Tolkien in his commentary in Unfinished Tales points out that, like, it really seems hard to believe that Yavanna would consider his focusing on, the animals and plants of Middle-earth a failure on his part. In fact, like, it kind of sounds like that would be exactly his remit if he was coming from Yavanna in the first place, right? So that makes all kinds of sense, and how that could be constituted a failure is really hard to understand. Anyway, point is, the wizards are sent over, and it's not at the beginning of the Third Age. It's like 1,000 years into the Third Age. Again, after Sauron has been defeated, but once the Valar can foresee that he is going to rise again, that's when they send the Astari. So again, with the Lotro story of the Gaunt Men, therefore, the Gaunt Men have been operating, right, since well before, like millennia before. They're first age creatures made by Morgoth. So the coincidence of numbers, the 5 Gaunt Men to correspond to the 5 Astari, either has to be viewed as a coincidence, or it has to be viewed as working the other way around, that when the Astari were sent to be the opponents of Sauron, their numbers were chosen to equal the Gaunt Men. I don't know whether that's just supposed to be like a kind of throwback, or whether the Valar actually, within the Lotro alternate universe, were expecting the Gaunt Men to rise again and cause problems. But I have to admit...
Third possibility.
Yeah, third possibility? Let's hear it.
Which is that there are Gaunt Men, right? In other words, there's like, if you think in terms of, there's like, because we meet, Gaunt war singers and Gaunt Men and stuff like that, and that the Witch King actually, now this might make it, because remember, I think Jay, when he was reading the Facebook, said, or Tracy, I can't remember which one, said that they lost power, right, and they went into hiding.
Yes. So
the Witch King may have empowered 5 of them, and raised them up in power in response to the Astari. So
I see.
That makes more sense.
Yes, it would. It would. It is hard to imagine that the Valar had the Gaunt Men in mind. Even in sort of the Lotro alternate universe, it's hard to imagine that.
And actually, the wiki article sort of implies that the Witch King summoned several Gaunt Men, not necessarily the Gaunt Lords, but several Gaunt Men. And then after that happened, so like more than the 5, but after, in the midst of that, 5 of them got extra power somewhere else. So became the Gaunt
Where'd they
Lords.
Find it?
I don't know. It says 5 gained greater power. It doesn't actually say how that happened. Okay. Obviously, the Witch King couldn't give it to him, but
right.
Maybe they found something somewhere.
But they found it. Okay. Well,
Subjugating hobbits? No.
Too bad you're not going to Turbine tomorrow, Corey, because you could walk in the front door.
Yeah.
Right.
You need to get this
That
Gaunt
definitely
thing
needs to
straightened
be
out
on your
right
list the
now.
next time you talk to them.
It does.
Definitely.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So 5 of them became more powerful. Well, usually, see, this is one of the things that that the Turbine folks are super careful readers of the text. And usually I can find at least something, like a sentence, even a phrase in the book, which seems to be like the seed, or the root of a concept, which often will be expanded and developed and often in a largely independent way in the Lotro world, which is totally but I couldn't figure it out with it. But now I've got it. Now that the link to the Witch King is what makes that all make sense then, because there's that line it's about the Barrow Wights ultimately, but it's sort of sufficiently vague enough to give Turbine sort of the wiggle room they need to invent this story, which is that after the fall of Cardolan, or right around the time of the fall of Cardolan. So you'll remember the three different houses of the Dunedain of Arnor, right? Arthedain and Rhudaur and Cardolan Arthedain, which remained the ruling house. And the line of Isildur continues through the house of Arthedain, through Arvedui, the last king, and then through the chieftain of the Dunedains. The Dunedains. Listen to me. I need to get more sleep. Anyway, so Rhudaur, of course, becomes corrupt, and they become connected with the Hillmen, and they end up serving Angmar. So Rhudaur goes over to the dark side. Cardolan, the third subset of the Arnorian Dunedain, just kind of lose. They just kind of get wiped out. In the end, they retreat to their last stronghold, is in the Barrow Downs. I mean, because the Barrow Downs being downs, which we don't really have downs in America. That's not a word we use in America, but if you had a set of downs, they would be lovely. They would be very, very nicely defensible as a region, and that's the place where the people of Cardolan, the Dunedain of Cardolan, took their last stand. But they were ultimately defeated, and around the time of the defeat of the Dunedain of Cardolan is when the Witch King sends evil spirits into the Barrows. In the Barrow Downs. And now in the book it's suggested that that's the origin of the Barrow Wights themselves, but of course again it doesn't explicitly say that in the book, and so the idea that the Witch King sent evil spirits, right? So ta-da, Gaunt men, right? The Gaunt Lords are the evil spirits that were sort of deputized by the Witch King and sent down into this region. So that makes sense, and I can't wait to learn more about them, and I'm very much looking forward to... I always look forward when I'm doing these story instances to any, sort of monologue that the boss wants to go into. I often find the combat quite distracting from the monologue, which I'm trying to pay attention to.
Turbine toasts Tolkien all the time and thanks him for being so vague.
Oh yes, exactly. Yeah, absolutely. Just like Chris Pearson's favorite sentence in The Lord of the Rings, that sentence in Appendix A about Aragorn and Éomer, and many were the times when the banners of Gondor and Rohan, flew together again in the fields down in Brún and Harad.
Right?
Exactly. Yes, and Chris Pearson says the Turbine people just fist pump, at that sentence because it gives them license for as much as they really need to do, up through level cap 150. But anyway. So
we should probably get going.
We should.
I think we probably have folks. You're a night owl, but there might be some people that need to.
True enough. No, we should go. But I'm glad I'm now focused on the Gaunt Men, so we'll see what we can learn, and I'll try to put this together with what we've already learned, and we'll see what Gandalf has to tell us here.
Little Lord Olafauntleroy.
That's really adorable in a miniature, really terrifying war machine kind of way. I mean, that's the cutest little engine of death I've ever seen.
I know, isn't that cute? I wish hobbits could get in, jump on top of it. It would be great. But anyway, all right. So I believe I have everybody accounted for. Unfortunately, there's a few people like Adna and Turstan who can't go with us because they're too low. This is a 65 minimum instance, unfortunately. So who I have is Wigand, Carve, Sarissa. I know, I'm so sorry. Oh, I hate when they cry. Wigand, Carve, Sarissa, Tarandel, who is my captain, I'm going to switch over to him, and he's actually there already, so he'll be able to muster you guys there. Sanswinda and Garanex. So let me
Is
say
he at
that again.
Rivendell or
Wiggins?
is he at Stonehenge?
Oh, he's at the door of the Lost Temple. So y'all get to Rivendell and then let me know when you need to.
Yeah, so you have to go to
be
Rivendell first.
summoned.
Yes.
So Wiggins, Carve, Sarissa, Tarandel, Sanswinda, Garanex. That's a full 6-man. Then I have the level cappy guys. Hologro, Rensum, Looney, and Merilthian. I never get your name right. That's a 4-person close to level cap. So you guys can decide, how you wanna play that. And have I left anybody else? Have I left anybody out? Anybody who can play? I think I've got everybody right. Anybody who I have left out, jump up.
The hunter, so she can port us directly to Rivendell.
Whom am I missing? I've got Sarissa, Sanswina, Garanex. Oh, and Carve?
Carvarin, yeah.
Yeah.
Over here.
Okay, yeah, got him.
And then I'm switching over to Tarandel.
Oh, okay, so Toronto's going to come with us too.
So don't include me. And are you gonna put the fellowship together, Wigan? Because I'll.
I did,
tell you.
yeah.
We're already working on it.
I've got the 5 of us now.
Okay, so I'm heading out now. If there's anybody, I think I've got everybody. Nobody's yelling at me, so I'm good. Yay! Well, I still say you guys should be missing Valori because she does a way better job at this stuff than I do.
Oh, excellent. That works well.
Very well.
Gather around the hunter.
Yeah.
Gather around the little hobbit right here. She's gonna take us to Rivendell.
Okay. Excellent. We're ready. We're going to meet Tarandil in Rivendell, right?
No, I've already done that bit. I'm waiting at the entrance.
He's waiting at the entrance to Stonehenge so that he can just
And
Okay.
there.
It's not Stonehenge, it's someplace else. But anyway, I got a mustering horn right by me.
Okay.
He's
And plus
still
I'm captain.
in the woods up above the North Trollshaws.
Yeah, it's Trollshaws, North Trollshaws.
It's
It's in the area where you do the thing with Glorfindel.
It's up towards Nantornath.
It's
Right.
yeah, Nat Tornath. That's right.
Ostchord. I'm on Barth.
All right. And now, the great
Okay,
challenge
we're
of the
gonna descend
evening.
hotels.
Bridges. Can he do it? Let's not rush into this now. Okay, that was close, Wiggin, but you did it. I'm proud of you. One more to go.
Trying to Worsted across that, are you?
No, I don't have my Worsted yet.
I'm totally worse eating.
Oof.
Chaos.
Boy, my lag is really bad. Holy cow. That was so close. I think I was over the precipice there, but I just pulled it back.
Welcome to the new laggy or frillier. Rivendell.
Is Rivendell more laggy now since the upgrade?
Well, it's frillier. If your computer has a hard time
That's
rendering
got
all
more
the bushes that Elrond's landscaping staff has slacked off on, yeah.
Ah! Wow. Back the horse up, Wiggin. Oh my goodness. I just turned 270 degrees. I was trying to adjust by about 5 degrees, and I ended up turning fully 270 degrees around. Okay, but I made it across the bridge. I am so excited.
They did cut down the tree that was growing up through the bridge.
Yeah, they did.
Oh, they did?
I'm glad.
That was
Okay.
one of the things that took so long for us to patch yesterday. Was them fixing that tree.
Who must have hired a hobbit worker?
You mean the tree down by the waterfall that we were noticing during bingo night?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So Wigan, when you're not worried about lag anymore, I sent you out for me
Oh, okay.
to add
Right.
to the fellowship.
Gotcha.
There are a lot of
All right, Elrond, let's see what you've got here. Okay. These are evil runes. I can read them, though it is not pleasing to do so. I like that. Yeah, it's
At least you
okay.
can read them.
Yeah, that's right. Tough it out for us, Elrond. The tablet contains directives for Ivar, as you supposed, from the Gaunt Lord named Gortharon. He is instructed to raise an army of wights with which to crush the free peoples. Okay, see, raise an army of wights seems more like the kind of thing I would have expected rather than make a pot of pie-scented poison just to kill a bunch of hobbits. That's one of the things that puzzled me about stage 1.
Scout fights. They were going to kill the hobbits off and then reanimate them as scouts.
Right.
Small whites.
Small wights. Okay.
Small white.
Right. Okay. Right. All right. Now, okay, it's curious that Ivar's actions in the town of Stoneheight do not seem to have been in line with these orders. Why did the Bloodhand destroy the town as he did and then leave it? Well, he lost his hat, Elrond. It was all about his hat. It was a sartorial decision on his part. Would not following his orders be more important? Well, obviously, not when it comes to his hat. There's more here. He is told to keep a close eye on Ferndur, for though he was the master of Imlad Balchorth for many years, Gorthron has not forgotten what happened to Ferndur's people in the depths of his temple. I do not know what this is in reference to, Wigan. Good, Elrond. I'm glad you're as confused as I am, but I do know where this temple, the Lost Temple, is located because the Scout of Rivendell has observed worrisome Is this that place up on top of that bluff up there that, like... Oh, wonderful. Boy, when I was doing my completionist troll shaws, I was so confused by that region. I'm like, I went up a path up the hill, and now suddenly the sun is shining where it wasn't shining down at the bottom of the hill, and I get this warning across my screen like, you are too low level, run away now, and I had no idea what that was about. Okay, cool. The Lost Temple, because the Scout of Rivendell observed worrisome activity there of late, assemble a fellowship of allies and find her at Oskhal in the northern reaches of Nantornith. Okay. Okay, so...
This is where Carver and I now are.
Right, let me just hang on a second here. So, the master of Imlad Borkoth, right, okay, has not forgotten what happened to Does anyone know who Ferndur is?
He's the minion of pestilence, I think? The disease.
Oh, he's one of the other big five?
He's minion of plague.
Minion of Plague.
He's the disease one.
Virulent.
He's the guy that Glorfindel came and fought with, right?
Right.
Yeah. You also face him in Imlad Balporth as an on-landscape raid boss from the Agmar days.
Right. Okay. Yep. All right. I remember him. Okay. Oh yeah, right. He's the one who's he's got that little ruin up on the hilltop, right?
Right.
Around the corner
Yeah,
from
in fact, I just killed him a little while ago.
the Lost Temple. Right. Okay.
Standing with him. Yeah.
Okay. All right. But anyway, but there's something unspeakable that happened to Ferndur's people in the depths of his, presumably Ferndur's temple, and Gortharon has not forgotten. So somebody did something awful to Ferndur's people in the depths of Ferndur's temple, and Gortharon hasn't forgotten it. Okay. Keen to find out what that's about, Elrond. So, okay, we'll find Ithriel at the Lost Temple. All right, okay. Were you guys planning to, Trish, were you planning to muster us?
Yeah, I'm doing it right now.
Okay.
I've already mustered Sarissa, and I just called Senswinda,
Excellent.
and I'm about to call you. I think we got everybody.
I sure
Garnix,
will.
Did I get Garnix? Let me try and see if I did. I don't know if I did or not.
You got it.
Did I?
I'm coming.
Oh, okay.
Well, you really have to, I mean, the kind of mental preparations involved for this kind of travel seem to be fairly intense.
Carv's napping.
Yeah. Sounds like a plan.
Did you just...
Okay. All right. Lost Temple. Here we are.
Did I just what? There you are.
All right, here we are. Okay, yep, there we are.
What's no? What did you shake your head no about?
The emote that you did at me when I first joined
Oh.
you that I completely missed because I was not looking at the screen.
Okay, yeah, so I arrived and I was like, oh, everyone's sitting around waiting for me. And then I realized, no, it's actually only Carve who's sitting. Garen X and Sanswinda are just short. So, okay, here we are.
Short is accounted for.
Short, that's right. There's nothing wrong with short. Short is good. Okay.
So let's see, Garen X, you're the RK. Are you willing to be the healer for us?
Yes, I'm planning on healing.
Okay, awesome.
That's gonna be interesting.
Good. All right.
I don't have headphones in. Is my echo really bad?
No, actually.
No, you're actually
Okay, perfect. All right.
Bless you.
Okay. So, this is where we go in. Hey, this isn't up that hill, is it?
This way it is. That way, if you go out this door here, and then you look over to the, it's over to the left.
Somewhere.
If you look over.
Oh, yeah, no, this is the place. Yeah, this is the.
over there where he
That's where Ferndur's temple is,
was
right?
hanging out. Yeah.
Where something unspeakable was done to his people by somebody we don't know.
Right.
Unless it was us.
Well, actually, this is where the temple is.
This is the temple? But not Ferndur's temple.
This is the door to the temple.
This is the door to the lost temple.
The other place is kind of like the back door of it. It's
Okay.
not really a door so much as it is just, hey, look, you're on the outskirts of the temple. It's just over this wall.
Okay, all right. So if we look here, we've got the Rudaran symbol flanking what appears to be the scepter of Illuminus, which is like wishful thinking, but the Rudarans do that a lot in their architecture. And we've got the Rundaran forest crown thing all over the place on these walls. But then we have these 4 liturgical gentlemen, right, up in their little niches on either side. There isn't a 5th one, is there? No, don't see one. Do you see what I mean? These 4 guys who look like bishops. Well, they are holding swords. Huh. Okay, sorry. All right. I'm ready. Hey, I discovered the Lost Temple. How about that?
10 medallions worth. Yeah.
I get 10 medallions just for showing up?
And a title.
Yeah.
And a
So,
title?
I hope you're gonna have people
Good
join.
grief. Which deed did I complete? Just...
You discover the lost temple.
Oh, right. Okay, so where are we going? What level should we go at?
I don't know. What do you guys think?
80.
79, 80?
Carve and I are only 75.
I would say probably
Oh.
77, 76.
All right.
Yeah,
There's
I would-
some nasty diseases in here, and the end boss
okay.
fight can be kind of tricky if you don't know it.
I'm kind of hoping not more than 75 because then the gear that drops we can actually use. And not have
75 is awesome. I concur
to throw
with.
in our vaults
Oh,
for
come on,
whatever it is.
guys.
Yeah,
We're
we're gonna be
still
at 75
doing 75 for
for a
Halloween.
while.
6?
We don't want to make it sporting?
That's awesome.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. 76 or 77.
Well, for the practical reason of Terry's commentary, 75 would give us gear that we can actually use the next month or two. While we camp at 75, but
Couple months.
Yeah.
that's just a practically
Okay,
greedy.
that's 2 of 6 people.
How about 76? 76 is just as good, right?
That's right.
All right, 76. Let's do 76.
Oh, here's something that Wigan's going to enjoy looking at.
Oh, the mysterious relic.
Yeah. Check this out, Wigan.
Wait, hang on.
I've got some scrolls I can read.
Look over here, Wigan. There's this interesting
Hang
thing
on, I'm
here.
trying to listen to the voiceover. Too late. I missed it.
Sorry.
Band of
Alright.
mercenaries led by by the Gaunt Lord Ferndur have begun looting a hidden root-hour temple, left in ruins since the fall of the Northern Kingdoms. What purpose does the Servant of Darkness have within? There you go.
And that's what it said. That's
Okay.
exactly what it said.
That was the like Terry version. It sounded more like a band of mercenaries led by the God Lord.
It's in your general. That's right. That's right.
Anyway, yeah.
Okay. All right, so it's a Rudauran temple. So the temple itself has nothing to do with the Gaunt men themselves.
Correct.
It's a Rudauran temple to Sauron? What is up, though, with this yellow thing?
I know.
That's a sigil of disease from the God Lord.
It's a sigil of disease?
Yeah.
Yes.
I see. Okay. All right. So that's like Ferndur was here?
That's why it's
Farms, they have the
spewing
same
all that
thing.
yellow
They're
stuff.
spewing green stuff, and then if you go
Oh,
to
right. That's
Stone
right.
Knight, you might see the same kind of deal spewing red stuff.
Ah.
Oh, okay.
Each one of these instances focuses on a particular status effect.
Right.
In this case, it's disease. Stone Knight's wound. North Cotton is poison.
Oh, what's the next one?
I want to say it's fear, but I'm not entirely sure.
Okay.
Okay. What does Ithriel have to say? Okay, if we're here to explore the Lost Temple, you must warn us the Gaunt Lord Ferndur has come to this place, but to what purpose you cannot guess. There's something else too, something that you cannot explain. Okay, well, you have done a swell job of explaining Ferndur either. Ferndur the Virulent. That is an awesome title. I absolutely love that title. Ferndur the Virulent would be worrisome enough, but he has hired a mercenary band, and they have been prowling about the grounds of the Lost Temple. It is highly unusual, and I don't know why Ferndur would deign to work with such men. It's my understanding that the desires of men are beneath the notice of such creatures as the Gaunt Lords, but this mercenary band is certainly in the employ of the Gaunt Lord. Make your way through the grounds, and you will see it is so. Enter the crypts and look for signs of what Ferndur is planning. Okay. Cross the temple grounds. That sounds easy enough. All right.
Following the invisible Sarissa?
Yeah. Following
She
the
knows her way
invisible leader.
around for sure. So.
I may have done this a couple of dozen times.
Yeah.
At least the beginning part.
Hey, what? Hey.
We found looters.
We did. Oh, man.
Oh, laggy.
Yeah, my lag is really bad.
No kidding. Oy.
I'm not even facing the right direction. This is awful. Yeah. Okay. This is... Wow.
Grondel, your herald is about as helpful as all the heralds ever.
Well, it was either him or the ghost archer, but I figured this guy's herald increases our damage. I figured we needed that more.
Oh, so there's a reason he's standing around doing nothing. Got it.
Well, he's got that passive.
His herald, he's got the passive thing. The banner increases the damage dealt by those around it.
Okay.
So he's actually useless. It's his banner that we care about.
We'll go down.
So he is actually completely useless. Okay,
yeah.
as long as
Yes,
that's
he's
understood.
useless. I do have an archer. If we ever feel like we need the archer out, then I can pull him out.
Okay, got more looters up here.
Now it seems everyone's going.
Go in and let Wiggin yell at stuff first.
Oh yeah, we do need to let Wigan yell everything first.
I drew aggro from the
I
frog.
love it. He's aggroing the frogs.
Yeah, I saw that too.
Really? You aggroed the frog?
I aggroed the frog.
They're not doing anything, but you see the little aggro symbol jump. go
Yes.
up over their heads. It's pretty funny.
That was awesome.
Hilarious.
I'm just kind of hoping that I'm pointed in vaguely the right direction. Man.
Oh, no, I don't want to kill the frog.
I just targeted the frog.
I did.
I know.
Flooded that frog. I was like, oh man. That's a good skill. Don't waste it on a
You know,
frog.
Wigan, I was in Ostkellebrand the other day with
Yeah.
Doron. Remember the guy?
Oh, yeah.
He killed a rabbit. Walks up and just kills a rabbit. I'm like,
Doran did? No
Yes.
prisoners. Take no prisoners.
seriously bloodthirsty, I'm telling you.
That's awesome.
So we go up these stairs.
These stairs here, yeah.
Oh, those stairs.
You remember this part. I remember this part because I kept dying and coming back up these stairs.
Uh-huh. Okay, so...
Wigan, we'll wait for Wigan.
I'm coming. I found the stairs.
hear them talking about how a bunch of them have fallen ill.
Fender showed us how to find
You
the...
want to quit now because you've got a cold.
So, all right. Whoa!
Dude, get back over here where my banner is, you silly guy.
God. I just got knocked up the hill.
That would be the captain.
They don't live long enough to do a fellowship maneuver.
Okay, so we're coming up on where the troll is.
The troll.
I just got totally turned around. I don't remember. Okay, it's this
We go down the steps here?
We just came up those steps.
That's this way.
It's this way, isn't
I
it?
got a loser on my sides.
This way. We got him over here. We got a mercenary over here.
There's Captain. There's a acolyte of pestilence too.
Yeah, the acolyte of pestilence you're gonna want to kill really quickly.
Alright, there's trouble here.
Is that the guy that's talking?
You and the rest of your
Yeah.
companions should be ready to embark come morning.
Best be telling the true thing. Remember, Fernder will have one.
Okay,
last
so the
loyal
mercenaries are
servant.
not happy. They've been promised to be able to loot this place, I guess.
Yeah.
Uh-oh. I'm lagging.
Oh yeah, here comes the enslaved war troll.
Yeah, you want to not kill the troll, okay?
We don't want to kill the troll?
Which we just did.
Well, we didn't want to pull the troll yet.
Oh, it'll come anyway. Just pass on his way.
Yeah, he was like headed over here. Whoa! Well, I thought he knocked me into a tree, like up a tree for a second.
That's kind of what it looked like,
Yeah.
as you came flying past.
Acolyte of pestilence is draining power.
He's dead.
Could use a blue fellow.
Troll's dead.
Yeah,
What else
we got the troll.
Troll shooter,
Man! Ah!
Down.
Oh, I actually sprained my ankle on that. You threw me all the way down the hill.
Sorry, Terry, not your group, the other group. It's his fellowship maneuver. Sorry.
The other group has a burglar too.
Oh yeah, I know we're not. I know we're hogging the mic here. Totally okay for the other group to talk to. Man, my lag's awful.
Okay, so we have another troll.
I think there's 2 priests of pestilence here.
Jeez.
Probably want to take the acolytes before we take the troll.
Alright, I'll grab one.
Are they
One
talking?
at a time or something?
No, the whole group's gonna come
Probably
together.
can't. They're all gonna aggro, aren't they? Yeah.
So take out the acolytes first.
No dialogue?
The target assist, or mark one of the acolytes to take down first.
Let's go for the left one.
I'm gonna just. I'll try to tank the troll.
And you want us to beat down on the acolytes?
Yeah.
Sounds good. One acolyte is down.
Don't worry, I've knocked almost like 5,000 morale off the troll so far. I'm really cruising. I could probably kill this guy all by myself, and probably wouldn't take me more than 25 minutes.
Right.
Okay.
Alright, first boss fight coming up.
Do you want to explain how that goes?
First boss?
Yeah, basically we need one person to grab the male figure, which is the guy in dark clothes, and pull him up the stairs to the left, and then somebody else needs to grab the sister, which is the female in the lighter clothes, and aggro her and bring her back to the right, and you want to keep them separated as much as possible. And you want to try and bring them down relatively the same, but if we just kill one of them, then we can just focus fire on the other one until they're dead. We're not doing a challenge or anything, so we don't have to kill them within 10 seconds of each other, but as long as they're together, they have a buff that makes them harder to
So
kill.
you can pile on just the one, and then we'll switch off to the other one.
Yeah, because
So I
at
can
one
try to
point,
aggro the-
when you
I can try
get
to
one of
aggro
them
the
too
sister.
far down, the other one starts to hit harder, and I think at some point you have to switch targets because they stop taking damage or something.
Okay, how about I'll tank the guy up on the left-hand stairs, and then you guys can all focus on the sister, and then just come over.
We'll do that.
Yeah.
And she's ranged, so she's a real pain to keep away from him. And at some point they will try to get together again, so you kind of have to force taunt her off. Am I going to force taunt her, or are you going to do it, Trish?
Why don't you?
Alright, I'll give it a go.
And then, you know,
might
I
just
can.
switch over
We
to-
both have them, so if for some reason.
Actually,
she
Carvin,
hits me again, I can
if
try
you
and
stay in
stop her.
red line, you can single target force taunt, and that'll work better than AoE.
Okay.
Because then you don't have to worry about competing with Wiggin.
That's good, because I can hit way harder. Alright. And I can keep Champion's Duel on her, too.
Okay.
They'll slow her down.
All right, and I'll just try to hold on to the guy.
Yeah, they're going to keep getting together.
Up the stairs?
I'm gonna keep
Go up the
trying to force taunt her.
stairs, or just stay
Yeah.
on the same level and just keep them apart?
No, you gotta go ahead and try and drag him up the stairs.
All right, I'll try to drag him up the stairs.
He'll go up the stairs. She doesn't like to move around a whole lot.
Like to go. Okay.
Okay, uninvited
And
guests.
there's gonna be this big old monologue.
Good, let's see. Lord Ferndor will be displeased. Oh dear. All right. First challenge is actually to navigate the stairs.
Oh, hello.
And he's back over here.
Oh, snap.
Oh, dang.
That's already.
Owie.
Is he coming? Is he coming? There he's coming.
There we go. Okay. Here, I'm gonna work on it with you, I think.
There he comes. Good boy.
He's probably gonna run back over here, so she just probably not help.
Well, I gotta tell
So
you.
what's probably not a surprise to anybody, Sarissa's
going down.
dead. I think I lasted 5 seconds. Maybe.
Yeah, I think he's gonna
Where are you?
over here behind the chick.
I'm over here behind Card.
Sorceress chick.
Oh, here he comes again, dang it.
Yeah, I think he
Hey.
may just focus on us at this point. What's his morale at? She's at 113.
He's at 222, but I've got him again.
Probably focus on him for a little bit to bring him down. Beat on her because she doesn't really seem to care whether or not I'm aggro on her or not, because she's got her target focused on me, but she's going after everybody.
Who's that?
Oh, good.
I'm taking damage just being near both of them. There, Rock. There, Rock, I can hug.
Boy.
Okay, hopefully I should be. He seems fairly responsive to my taunts and things, so I should be able to keep him.
Yeah, she's kind of ignoring me. No, I'm talking about this lady. Her morale keeps going back up too. I think she's healing herself somehow.
Oh, that's not good.
Oh, that's not good at all.
That was right.
Ow.
What's his
I'm
morale?
out of power.
Yep, both together again. Still.
I'm dragging him further back into the top of that alpha up there.
You want him further up?
Yeah, she's not responding to me at all. She won't move. Every time she shadows protect me, she gets like a. Where's he at?
He's at 142.
Okay, let's continue to work on him because once she gets too far down, she's moved herself a pretty good chunk. Hold on to her in terms of aggro, but we need to work on him. Getting down to where her level is, because she keeps healing.
Come back.
Ah, don't go over there.
Got him.
Yep.
So she just dropped to 84 now, so she's starting to take some
Okay, we got him down to 35.
There you go. I'm gonna bring her down now. Down to 52.
Sam.
Got him.
Alright. Let's focus her down. She's almost gone. Alright. And we actually killed them within 10 seconds of each other, so if that had been a challenge, we would have taken that one. Alright, so once we get inside, mind you, this is where you want to make sure that you've got disease pots and or the ability to cure disease off of you. Because inside there's going to be rotworms. They're those big glowworm looking things from Moria, except they're going to be yellow. They'll do an induction attack that you want to try to interrupt. If they don't interrupt, they will attack you, and you'll get a condition known as rot maggot, where you'll look at your character and there will be like this little yellow maggot attached to your flesh. You want to pot that joker off and immediately target the maggot that comes off and kill it. Otherwise, it'll grow into another full-size maggot, which can repeat the process.
Okay, so you get rid of it by curing disease?
Yeah, curing disease, or you use a skill that cures disease, whether it's a pot or whatever, and it pops the maggot off your flesh, and then you have to stab it until it dies, so that it doesn't reattach to somebody else or turn into a full-sized another worm.
Okay.
So it feeds off you until it gets big and gross.
Okay. Okay.
Fun, huh?
That does sound like fun. Okay.
And that's away. We'll run back in.
I don't have the will to fight you. Just leave me be.
Okay, you told them you'd go no further. They called you coward and they knifed you. Didn't know Colfrith before yesterday, but me and Rimbal had done lots of jobs before this one. Okay, but they'll get theirs. Okay.
Let him suffer, I say.
It's all over now. They should have listened to me and saved their own lives. Okay. I don't like being deceived, and that gaunt fellow's coin wasn't good enough to get me to go further into this place without explanation. I want you to make him pay for trying to use us. His coin would need to be better to get Skriston to throw his life away. Okay. Find the gaunt fellow further in and make him remember me. Okay, yeah. We weren't motivated before, but we'll take him out.
Absolutely.
In memory of this mercenary who got cold feet at the last minute. Okay. So, how do we approach these rotten maggot larvae that are sitting here?
Kill them all.
Just kill them all? I was going to say, in this case, when they're isolated like this, probably people with more DPS than I would be best to charge in there.
Yeah, you want to stab them quickly.
Yes, that's what I figured.
We're going to do a big loop around the bottom level of this particular crypt area. There's going to be 3 mini-bosses we'll have to fight in several places where the worms will drop out of the ceilings on top of us, and various whites and other nasty things.
Nice.
And there's 3 mini-bosses we'll have to take down in order to unlock the central crypt area.
And the good
And
news...
we don't get Slimy's mutated cousin.
And the good news is, my lag is much better here in the cave.
Now, the rot maggot is the one that'll spawn those little larvae that we just killed earlier.
Right.
So you want to try and induct his induction as much as possible.
Fuck. Gross.
Like that right there. You want to check your statuses to make sure you don't have something disgusting attached to your body, feeding off your juices and whatnot. Because, you know, you.
Yeah, it's really gross.
Wow. Okay. So are you going to pick his pocket or something?
No,
Okay. Just checking.
you can't pick pocket weights.
Stuff will come out. I just don't remember how much.
I'm actually trying to stay at the back of the group so it gets all open. I'm a burglar with standards.
See, there's a guy. Oh, there's a whole bunch of them just popped out of the sides now. Bring it on. We awaken to say. Just a move. You're stunned, and you're stunned, and you're stunned too.
Oh yeah, I've got one of those.
Okay.
This looks like a suspiciously blank hallway.
So probably rot larvae will fall down on our heads or something?
Yeah, we'll probably have worm sign.
Yeah.
Yep, there's worm sign. You want to plant a kiss will make her hook?
I really... Yeah, okay, looked like a thumper wasn't necessary.
Good. Okay, so to our right, you'll see the first of the mini bosses we gotta take out, or we can clear this room and then come back.
Oh, here.
Minion
Either
of
or.
plague, dude, yeah.
Are the people in that room going to come after us?
I don't think so. I think we can go in there and kill that mini boss and then come back out.
Okay. More doing, huh?
Oh wait, that's a different guy. Never mind. Archer. Good. And you see, you can shoot my tank. Archers are dealt with. Oh, he's in you. That's where you're at. Okay, more guys are coming in from behind. Focus on cleaning up the riffraff to keep them off the squishy.
White Slayer of the Troll Shells.
Dude, I forgot about how cool that is. Oh, this Plague White Captain's no joke. He's a lead. Acts like he's tough.
Okay, we got the mini boss.
Oh, what was that?
That's a disease that makes you afraid.
Is that a status thing you have to clear? And
That'll
otherwise
make
it comes
it
back?
clear.
Oh yeah, somebody's got that on them that if you don't clear, it's gonna spread to everybody else. Got puddles of fear clouds. Who's got that on them?
I do when I can't clear it.
Yeah, you have to, like, when you clear it, it spawns that cloud, and so you gotta get over in the corner to clear it.
Oh, wait, there's a Forgotten King showing up and giving us dialogue here. Hang on.
Yeah.
Rudour felt the darkness without battle, for our will was bent before our swords were raised. Yeah, your fault. Now Furndur means to break the will of the North, overcoming all with decay and despair, and for our role, we who were once kings are now condemned to watch as his evil gathers unless you can stop him. Call upon me and my brothers as one, and we shall open the way. Also, shades of the Rudourans are going to help us, huh? That sounds like a plan.
Yeah, because Fernder's right down here.
Oh, yeah?
In the middle. Yeah.
And by all blood.
Oh, that was creepy.
Yeah, there he is. Farendur the Virulent.
Music in here has a slightly Tron feel to it. It's kind of funny.
Alright.
Let's target those rot maggots. I got the one on the right. And there's one on the left I can see. The one on the right's inducting. Okay, the maggots are down. Take that, maggot. That's what it said. Sure. My party.
He needs to die again.
I'm looking at this guy. Who's next?
This other pew pew.
Where is he? Oh, there he is.
Okay.
We killed the undead pew pews.
We got everybody?
Oh, sweet. I see it's another suspiciously empty hallway.
It's totally going to backfire. I don't know, it's one of these times.
No.
Vernon
This one is
Thistlethorn.
Vernon Thistlethorn. This is the one I think came out of a Kurosawa film.
Vernon Thistlethorn. Why can't I click on him? There we go. Okay.
I'll go after the archers first. Oh snap.
Oh, you want that?
Big worm, big worm.
Maggot.
Whew, got that off just in time. We finished it.
Whoa.
Archer.
Hey.
That worm's dead. Somewhere in here there's like rotten trolls, if I remember correctly.
Oh, I've got the thingy.
Yeah, if you got that plague thing on you, run off to the woods. There's more rot maggots that just showed
Gotta
up.
be not rooted first.
Okay. That's okay.
Healing.
Oh, and I had a worm come after me. Thanks a lot.
Alright, we got the boss.
There's a maggot loose.
He found us. It found us.
Yeah, because I hipsed away from it, because I only had 1,000 morale.
You dead?
It's gone.
Yeah, it's dead now.
Yeah.
Kings of Rudar, brothers in arms, rivals in spirits. Here we lie entombed. We accepted the mantle of Angmar, and so here we shall remain until it is lifted at last. In our penance we watch this place, but are powerless to condemn the evils within.
Okay.
This is the best career move we ever made.
Yeah. Nice to see some regret from the old Rudauran kings. I mean, that's shows wisdom, even if gained too late.
Well, you know, they do say hindsight is 20/20.
And you know, I gotta think. See, this little shrine over here.
I know, right?
right? I mean, that's part of the original construction, right? So,
Yeah.
I mean, if you're making like horned masks with long pointy tongues sticking out like that and evil sinister eyes, like isn't that kind of like among the things that should kind of tell you that you've really kind of taken the wrong path, you
Probably
know?
should rethink your career choices.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's really time to take a long look in the mirror and really think how you can
These
really
guys, I don't know. Our iconography is looking kind of sinister and, dare I say, evil.
Yes. Exactly. I mean, at some point you've really just got to ask yourself about that.
It is a pestilent troll in this next room.
There's a who?
Oh,
Control.
yay. I was
Pestilent
I
troll.
see there is a rotten maggot larva that I will target first in this party of yuck.
All right. I will focus on the troll.
Good thing we brought the purple Power Ranger.
That's right.
Well, Hunter just finished an instance. We only wiped once.
Awesome.
Did you, Finn?
Yeah.
Who was your character?
Looney.
Moon. Oh, that was you. The second time went much better.
What level did you guys do it at?
I don't know.
103, I think.
103?
Oh,
Yeah. Should have been 105, but we did it at 103, I think.
to make it easy.
Well, actually, when we started it up, there was only 4 of us.
Four of us.
Yeah,
four.
we got 2 other people after we started it.
Oh, you did? Oh, awesome.
We still wiped once.
Yeah, well, yeah, that was just because lack of remembering how it ran.
Was that the final boss fight?
Let the
Yeah.
torch roll.
Yeah. That one you gotta know what
All
you're doing.
right.
Well, you also have to pay attention to what you do.
Yeah.
They kind of go together.
And make sure you're not putting death puddles in stupid places.
There's a maggot.
Where's Maggot? Here, Maggot.
Went after
Down
stuff.
there. Alright, let's go back to hit the plague whites then. Oh man. Oh, new. Sucks.
Give me a log.
Dude. Something just threw up. That was gross.
That was really gross.
Got that stupid eye crap again.
Oh,
Oh, 'cause there's no maggot leaves.
birds.
I'm trying to get rid of it, but
Or like,
I'm on this maggot. Make maggot die. Oh, you maggot. Oh, maggot.
I gotta puddle of yuck I'm gonna run away from.
Oh, there's another one.
There's another one.
Wait, what? How did I pick up those guys?
They get summoned in, I think.
Guys.
sorry, Carver.
Maggot. Oh, that's okay. Oh, geez, there's more maggots that just spawned somewhere. The little ones.
Yep. And
The
the big one.
larvas.
Okay, the big one's dead.
How do we get everything? There's an acolyte of affliction. Where did he come from? I don't know.
Those were the
Acolyte
guys
of
who
affliction?
went out
Oh, these
to
must
get,
be related to the troll. Troll gets
allies
too.
from the log.
Alright, let's do it. I bet you the acolyte of affliction can summon stuff. The defender's chamber has been opened. Because the Fabio lookalikes are saddened for their
Clean
bad
myself
hair.
off. Trondel's got it too.
You know, Bergs do a lot of running around.
They always want to be behind stuff to stab at the bag.
Well, it's just because if it's standing right in front of you, you gotta go find it. It's not like an archer or a hunter where you can just stand off to the side, you know, hold on to
Oh yeah, us melee types, man, we're running around stabbing stuff.
Okay, so the door's open.
So we keep running and then we go around the corner here. Oh yeah, these guys did come in. Good to know. So I guess you do have to purge out the other rooms before you go after the bosses. Or at least that's one way of doing it. And the monster comes along. You must stab it. Okay, now, this will be the final boss fight of Fernder. The way this works, if I recall, and somebody correct me if I'm wrong, is that he's going to look at somebody in the party, and he is going to put a nasty eyeball on you. When you get the eyeball, you need to run to the far edge of the room, and you need to wait until that ticks down, and then it's going to dump a poison cloud under you, or a disease cloud. You need to run out of the disease cloud, and anything that hits that disease cloud is going to reanimate all the corpses on the ground. What you want to do is get right up next to the wall so that half of the disease cloud is going to be cast into the wall. If you run into a disease cloud when you have that eyeball on you, you pretty much will die because it hits you super hard. The idea is to try and walk along the edge of a disease cloud so that you can kind of make them overlap a little bit and not fill the entire room so we'll have room to stand to fight him. And you do not want to DPS this guy down super fast because you'll get too many waves of ads and you'll get overwhelmed and die. So you want to pace yourselves. Whenever ads come in, you immediately stop damaging him, go after the ads. Once the ads are done, we'll DPS him down a little bit more. When the next ads come, kill the ads first, and then go back to him, and we'll whittle him down between waves of ads.
Well, that would have made it a lot easier if I'd known that.
Yeah, we killed ourselves the first wave. The last time I did this the same way. We just threw everything we had and then got overwhelmed and died.
Right.
So ads first, then Fernder. If you get the eyeball, run to the corner, drop the cloud in the corner. Say what?
Are we taking bets as to how long it takes me to go splat?
I think you last 15 seconds.
Should I just focus on trying to tank Ferndor?
Yeah, you just want to keep Fernder's attention.
Okay.
And then we'll just need to make sure that we protect the squishies from the ads that'll come in. And if you can AoE taunt the ads that come in, that's great. If not, the rest of us just need to make sure we focus on those guys.
Okay.
When they come in.
And if Ferndor puts the eyeball on me and I have to run over against the wall, it doesn't matter. I can draw him over near me. That doesn't matter?
Yeah. He usually doesn't really leave the center of the room, but if he does, then you just run around whatever poison puddle's there.
Okay.
Although, if I remember correctly, I don't think he puts the eyeball on whoever he's got aggro on.
Okay.
He puts the eyeball on everybody else in the room.
I see.
I could be wrong about that, but if I remember correctly, he doesn't do that when he's got aggro on the tank.
That was awesome, Sarissa. Like, you're invisible, but your tankard wasn't when you took that drink. Like, all of a sudden, this tankard appeared out of nowhere and swigged itself. That was kind of cool.
I'm going to read some more scrolls here real quick.
There you go.
Hope tokens up. Good there. Grab some food real quick.
I love the invisible pipe. It's great.
Yeah, the pipe is pretty cool.
The pipe is visible.
Yeah, the floating pipe.
More food. Okay. It's time for the traditional pre-fight fish slap. Alright. Fish slap for good luck, Sarissa.
Alright, off we go. Alright, Ferndor, I want some dialogue.
Yeah, so whenever you drop that poison cloud, when it ticks off, or that disease cloud, it'll reanimate one of these corpses in the ground. So you just want to try and do your best to...
Hey,
why
I guess
me?
you did monologue.
What's the deal?
Go ahead and grab him, Wiggins.
that was a terrible monologue.
Listen,
I'm
you wanna try
trying
and
to
keep him
grab
right
him.
here on this butt spot if you can.
Get over here.
I would say go ahead and grab him and bring him to the middle.
Yeah, I'm trying. He keeps
I got him.
spinning around so that I'm not facing it. Okay. Over here.
There you go.
Who's got the eye?
I got the ball. I got the eyeball.
Yeah, run to the corner. Oh, great. Hey, Carter, where you going, buddy?
I'm drawing him back.
Alright, now you want to run out. Focus on the ads.
Oh crap! I did. I turned around to run out and I died. Can't get back in, can I?
No, he's dead. There's another ad here somewhere. Okay, Wigan, you've got the eyeball.
I got the eyeball.
Yeah, you need to run. Run into the corner.
And when you drop that stuff, run out of it as soon as you
it
can.
drops,
I
you gotta
turned around
run
to
away.
run. And
I'm gonna focus on this rot thing.
okay, now run out.
Okay, rot larva's dead.
Yay,
Yeah,
completed
the
college
troll.
layer.
Hey, but I maintained aggro on him throughout that.
Yeah, you did. That was great.
Focus the troll if we can.
What's the red eyeball mean?
I don't remember.
Well, I completed White Slayer.
Alright, we can hit him for a little bit.
Okay. Well, I had a hard time getting his attention at the start, but he seems to be
Rot maggot.
Rot maggot.
Got it.
he seems to be remaining.
Garnex, you don't have an in-combat res, do you?
No, I don't. It's just the pre-combat.
Yeah.
I got the eyeball. I'm gonna bring it to the corner here. Dang it. Oh, I had it. Jeez, as long as this takes clear. Whew, that hurts. What did I bring up? Acolyte of pestilence?
Oh,
Alright, get out there as fast as you can, we can.
Come on.
See if I can't pull him off here for a little bit.
Whoa, wow, that was
Back over here to the middle.
whew. Where'd he go?
Alright, grab him back.
All right, I got it.
Can't bring him back over to the middle this time.
Do you want him back in the middle?
Yeah, we probably want him in the middle. There's a maggot underneath somebody. Interrupt. Stupid maggot die. Alright, maggot's down. There's another maggot.
Another one, 2, 3,
Yeah,
4
kill as many of these maggots
times.
as you can.
Oh my gosh.
Whoa, lots
Try
of
to start
maggots.
off. Smokes, man! Look at these stupid maggots. Oh,
Yikes.
target the maggots, not the boss.
Can anybody give
I think I got most of them.
Oh, yeah, look, I'm out of
one them
power.
spawned. I got him.
Corey needs power.
There's another great big one over
once.
in the corner there.
Oh my gosh. God, those things are so ugly.
Woo. No, you can't do that. Stop.
Do you manage to get yours first? I'm pretty much out of power.
Oh, we lost.
Ah, you stupid maggot.
Oh, no, we lost Sarissa.
She lasted longer than I thought she would. That's good.
No, she's
No,
link
she
lost.
She lost connection. She didn't die.
Oh,
She'll turn up
that's
again.
bummer. She'll come back. She always does. There's a little one over here. It's spun into a big one.
Oh shit.
Stupid maggot. Alright, I will take on 2 maggots. There's no more not. Rope champion. Rope champion things. Nope, can't have that. Trying to stun the maggots as they come by. Okay. Come on, you. One more maggot to go. Alright, you're gonna die now, maggot. I feel it. I feel the power of my swords. Sword. Ha! Now I need to get some more power. Glad I crossed
Another
it.
little one.
I got him. I'm glad I crossed here.
Oh no, I got the eyeball.
Alright, I'll grab him. Alright, bring him out.
Come on, come on, come on, come on.
All right.
Carve maybe?
All right, I've got the red eyeball again.
Alright, we got a plague white coming in.
There should be 2 of them.
Yep.
That's the other one. I'm gonna try and stun him.
I drew. Yeah.
A car's gonna get.
Okay,
A car's
okay,
got the eye.
I'm gonna see if I can't put it over here in the corner so I won't.
All right, I drew both the white and
Bring
and
him a
Fairendor.
little bit further away. I'm gonna try and overlap so we don't get any more ads. Go, 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 go. Whew. Maggots. No, out of context, that sounds so horrible.
It's not very funny.
Come on, come on.
bring him back.
Yeah.
Bridge Club.
Bring him back to the middle.
It's good to have him not in the middle. Or to have him in the middle, I should say. What is this, huh?
Garanex, you're doing an excellent job.
Thank you, thank you.
Yeah, I'll agree with that, boy.
Between, I've got a power regen skill and then some pretty high level, and then
Oh,
roller
you
red.
do have a power regen skill, that's cool.
I've got a self one. It doesn't work on anybody else, but if I time it right between those 2, I can keep my power up for a long time.
Self-motivation.
Yeah, yep.
Ads.
Let's just burn him down.
Yeah, he's good. He's good.
Yeah, he's
We
close.
got him.
He's so close.
There's even a class deed for using it.
Is there really self-motivation?
Yep.
Yes.
There we go.
Yay!
Well,
that was fun
Elrond
to
shows
watch.
up? Wow.
I had a really good view. So Garanex, if oh yeah, here he comes.
Yeah, I'm coming.
Bro. Oh, here we go. Okay, yeah. Okay, good.
Or somebody's got. There we
Wait,
go.
we've got what?
Here we go. It's reviving me.
Oh, I see. Ooh, we get some excellent relics here. That's
Some
cool.
of agility.
Thank you, sir. It's nice to see it in color again.
What's this?
Oh yeah, what I got a bracelet.
Oh, that's a nice,
Awesome. Great bracelet.
nice looking tank.
I needed
He
that.
was as cruel to his allies as he was to his enemies.
Ooh, and I got a setting of might. Nice.
Long ago, the men of Rudar waged battle against the other remnants of the North Kingdom. They worshipped Faerendor, believing he could grant them victory, and indeed, the plague he harnessed would be so great a weapon that Arthedain and Cardolan could not hope to stand against his threat. He gave to them the plague, the Red Cloud. That's a good plague name. But they could not control it. The men of Rudar who lived and worshipped at the Lost Temple were laid low by the weapon they sought to yield. It was their undoing, but Faerendor did not weep for them, though it cost him many servants. He merely laughed as the Red Cloud claimed its victims. Okay.
By the way, I did want to point out that we're seeing Elrond outside of
I
his
know.
library.
I couldn't believe it when he showed up. I mean, I saw the quest
Thing I-
prompt that
first
said
time I
talk
did
to...
this, Brandon, I'm like, oh my God, it's Elrond.
Right, exactly. I mean, I saw talk to Elrond, so I assumed, obviously, we had to go back to his library, but no. Wow.
I hope he had his sunblock with him.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, no kidding, really.
Okay, you found a broken tablet. Okay, and it reveals more commands of the Gaunt Lord Gortharon. Boy, they're really sloppy with their correspondence here. The missing section seems to be addressed to Ferendor, for I see several mentions of the Red Cloud, but most of the directives for Drugoth are intact. Drugoth is commanded to go to Forochel, oh dear, and to assemble an army of wights from Sari Surma, the Isle of Death, with which to sweep south into the populated lands of Eriador. Gortharon's displeasure is clear. It seems that his servant Ivar was given the task of raising an army of wights, but failed to do so, and instead pursued his lost hat. And now it falls to Drugoth. It was Drugoth that sought... Oh, sorry, that wasn't in the text. I added that. That was... It was Drugoth... It was Drugoth that sought to threaten Rivendell with the terror of the dragon Thorog, and though... That's the Heligrad dragon dude, right? Right.
Yep.
Okay. And though he was cast out of the dragon, somehow Drugoth has returned. He has gone to Sari Surma in Forochel, and you must find him and end this scheme of his master. Okay.
So only whites in the army, huh?
All right.
Well, they just want to make sure they have the white troop for the right time.
So the next one's in Forochel, huh?
Yeah.
Forochel, yep. Yeah.
50 medallions. That's pretty good. So we got 60 total. 10 just for finding the place, huh?
Yeah. And I thought some more came through. I don't know.
Oh, did they?
Oh, totally. Yeah. I started tonight with 90, and I've got 210 now.
Oh, my goodness.
So, yeah, we got a total of 120 medallions.
Wow.
Yeah, you get some from killing the mini bosses and stuff, too.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, that's cool. Because I was looking for some medallions. Because I'm.
Can you invite Darissa back in?
Oh.
Here, I'll unmute her. There, she's back on microphone.
Yeah. So thanks for opening the chest while I was gone. Cause
Oh no!
Oh no!
After all that.
That's okay, Sarissa. I'll send you this tome of agility. I don't need it.
Yeah, it was actually weird because I could still hear you guys and was for a while still seeing messages on my screen of what was going on, and nobody could hear me. Then I realized that the internet had dropped, and of course, with NetMute, when you drop, you get muted when you come back in. And I had no way of telling anybody to unmute me.
Right. Right.
Until she realized she could send me a tell.
I couldn't send you a tell until I got the game back up. Because my game was stuck.
Bummer.
Well, sorry about that. Okay, so do we just leave the instance now?
Yeah.
There should be a back door over here somewhere.
The back door, you run down and out.
There it is.
Rare. Oh, just like in the Barrow Downs.
I can just go back out the front.
The back door, also known as the front door.
Yeah, there's actually
Yeah, no
another
kidding.
door that leads into this complex that is deep within a cave that's populated by orcs that you do when you're doing Volume 3.
Huh.
Yes. When you go get Radnir and he sends you through that cave, there's a mysterious relic in that cave, and there's doors that lead to this spot.
Really?
Oh, no kidding.
Well, but you got to get way back in the cave to find it.
Yeah, those caves.
I've done that cave several times, and it wasn't until Sarissa mentioned it that I actually was able to find that place.
Those caves
I only found
are
it for the first
so
time on this cave
improbably
Who's
large.
Here? Gorthir. That was weird. Gorthir is out here.
Really?
What are you doing out here, buddy? Yeah. Very odd.
Oh,
What are
and
you doing
I'm-
here? You're supposed to be over across the way, buddy.
So this is that's like the big gaunt lord, right?
Yeah, he's supposed to be over in on the other hill. That's
Yeah.
strange.
The
All
guy
right.
we just beat up.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I should probably run.
Yep.
I gotta go finish prepping my Lost Road class for tomorrow. But thanks for joining us, everybody. That was very good. That was a very tense instance there, but we made it.
And in 4 weeks, we get to do the next one.
That's right.
Yay!
Okay, so
But
2
next
weeks from
time,
tonight, it'll be
it's
bingo night
off.
again. We'll be heading up into the Misty Mountains,
That's right.
getting ever closer to actual level there. I'm excited.
Yeah, I know.
I assume that
that's
bingo
right.
will catch up and pass me probably at the rate at which I'm successfully
We'll have to put off
leveling
bingo
Wigan,
then
but-
once that happens.
yeah, we'll have to see. We'll have to see. Maybe I'll go on a tear with Wigan and move on up. Who knows? I haven't been able to do Wigan because see now I feel like every time I do Wigan I need to stream him now. So I was totally incapable of streaming this past week when I was away. The internet that I had, it was just good enough to enable me to play the game, but there was no way I could possibly have streamed it. I had like 0.3 megs upload speed where I was, so it was.
Yeah, I noticed you in a couple of times. I'm like, oh, at least you can play.
Yeah, I was able to come in. Like I was able to come in and do my do some craft, some like guild crafting and stuff, which I was trying to do.
Yeah.
Well, do you have a story reason for streaming Wigan at all times?
No, it's just people ask me to because with Wigan I'm like exploring and finding things that I never saw before, so I figured I might as well start doing that on stream instead of.
Oh, gotcha.
It's fun.
Yeah, because
Yeah, I've kind of gotten myself to the point where there are certain characters I play only on stream,
Mhm.
and everybody else I don't play on stream at all because there are times when I just want to play and I don't want to be very social.
right.
So I'm like,
I hear that.
I will not do that.
Corey's
So,
got a few of those.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I totally
Yeah.
hear that.
Unfortunately, right now, one of the characters that I want to play is my Saturday morning free-to-play stream character. So I'm like, I can't play that guy right now.
Right.
Well, that's my Lore Master Moria.
Okay, well, I'm going to say goodnight. Oh,
Night.
did you already sign off the stream?
No, I did not yet. So let me do that first. Thanks everybody who joined us in the stream. Sorry for being muted at the beginning, and I'll see you guys. We'll see you guys again soon. Hopefully, I'll be able to do a Wigan stream here sometime in the next few days. I hope. So we'll see how that goes. But thanks everybody. Good night.
Good night.
Night.